Hello.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
All right. Sounds good now. I thought something was wrong with it.
No, that's just your phone.
Okay. This is Ty. This is Tahoe here,
This is, oh Lord.
and this is TL Show.
T.O. Show. Hello. What's going on? How's everything?
Everything's going fine over here. We're waiting for the Lil Nas X album to come out within, I think it's less than 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And also, we do have Chloe, Lord have mercy, coming this
Mm-hmm.
Friday, which is amazing. So this is exciting. I'm
All right.
excited all
We're
week.
getting fed. We're getting well fed.
hmm I'm already hungry and ready for it.
But, oh, I do have something to tell you, but I'm going to tell you after the podcast. It's about Lil Nas X. It's pertaining to this pregnancy thing that he's doing.
What's wrong? Bring it up on the show.
No, it's more so something. It's not really. It doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. But basically, a trans man had came out and was saying that he doesn't like um that Lil Nas X is using male pregnant. He kind of explained it in a better way, in a more clear way, that you're like, okay, I can understand you. I can understand this person being like, don't use something that I experience as a joke, or don't play around with that. Because it's basically you're using something that's oddity, or something that's considered rare, or something that's considered what's the word I'm thinking of? Something that's considered strange, and you're using it as a way to promote something, and in a way you're also basically saying that you're making a mockery of men who can be who are pregnant, or who can be pregnant, and stuff like that. So it's like, it's more to it. um from what I saw, that's what they said.
hmm
So it's a thing to it. That's why I said I'll ask you after, because what they were saying made a lot of sense, and it wasn't like they weren't attacking Lil Nas X. They were more so just saying, I don't like being something that I deal with, something that happens to me being used as a joke, even if you're not intentionally meaning it as a joke. The way it's being handled feels like
Well, I don't. I think. I don't. I think the point is how people are perceiving it. So
Mhm.
let's be very clear about that. I don't think it was never his intentions to disrespect the trans community. Let's be very clear about that. I
Right.
think it was something
But
that again was.
saying he's not saying that it was intentionally meant to be that way. It's still the fact that you're using something that this person experienced, and making a mockery or a joke. And there's more to, like I said, like I keep saying, there's more to it. And that's why I wanted to bring it up after we can talk about it. You know?
Okay. I
Weird.
think the
That's
point
why I
that
said I wanted to bring
hmm Well, we'll put a pin in it, you guys, and we'll just talk about this later once we come to, I guess, to see how this plays out, and hopefully we can just talk about it. And we're, like I said, we're not speaking for the trans community, as saying that we experience what they experience, but I think the point
hmm
is, being part of the community and just being, how would I put it, understanding to, like I said, both sides of the
Right.
situation. We got to have these tough conversations at
hmm
the end
It's in my mind, I can see what they're saying in, like, who's somebody, what's somebody? Oh, okay, perfect example, with a lot of, straight men, and they placate as gay. They use that as, for them, they use this as a joke, and it's like, no, but that's my lived experience. Like, I don't feel comfortable with a joke of something that I live, and you're not you're going to deal with it, but then once this is done, once the album comes out, you're done with what you're doing, but I am going to forever have to deal with people looking at me strange, people treating me like treating me like a dang, a circus freak. There you go. A circus freak, that kind of situation, like treating me like a science experiment gone wrong, like that kind of situation. So it's like I can see where they're coming from with it, in that it's more so about using it as um a way to advertise your album and stuff like that, versus you as a person are wrong. It's not about you as the person that's wrong. It's about what you're doing. They're saying basically.
Hmm. I don't know. This is like I said. This is a lot to swallow and definitely
Yeah.
take. Hold on, girl.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
That's the thing. It's like it's one of those, it's one of those situations where I'm just like, I got what they were saying, and I think it's an important discussion to have because, you know, we have things going on in the community that we may not all understand together. And it makes sense to, you know, to talk about it as a community and really get to a better place of understanding each other because, like you said earlier, neither one of us are transmuting, and neither one of us are
I
transitioning.
have Uber coming to the
So,
front door to pick up.
so neither of us experiences what that person may be experiencing. So our thought process may be like, oh, this is just, something, this is okay. Not a joke, but it's um what's the word I want to use? It's something he's doing as a promotional thing, but in our minds, we're seeing it from that perspective of this is a promotional thing. There's nothing wrong with what he's doing, but we're also, so that's why I said I want to bring it up after the podcast so we can kind of really have a deeper discussion about it. If we end up after the podcast, we might do it another time and all that. I want to kind of get the scope of the information and the scope of the what they're saying, if that makes sense.
We're gonna talk about it after the podcast. You know, that's my boy. All right. Well, let's just get into what we're talking.
I
We're
know
gonna
it
be
is.
talking.
I know, but and I appreciate him too. I'm really proud of him, and I'm ready for this album. I'm ready for Montero to happen because of what what I'm getting from it, and just again, as we've said previously, it's a great thing to see a visibly queer black man be put on such a pedestal. If that not
And
pedestal,
a dark
that
skin,
sounds wrong.
a dark
Yeah,
skin one as well. And like I said, people say, yeah, we shouldn't bring up, especially in the black community about,
mhm.
but it does mean a
It means
lot.
a lot. It
Because
means a lot.
we would think mostly a light skinned person before a dark skinned person. Let's be very clear
Yeah.
about this.
And I
So
think
this
the
is
thing is, it's
a
also
good point.
he's very openly gay versus, and
Mhm.
this is no, I do like him and I appreciate him, but versus somebody like Frank Ocean, where it's like, yeah, he's gay, but he's not like as open, as graphic, as, like with what he does and says, you know.
Mhm.
But I mean, we have had that before, and we have other artists like Sylvester. Sylvester is a very prominent was a very prominent gay singer, and he was
Mhm.
really out there. The girls can talk. Sylvester's one of those ones, and we have had others. But the thing with these other ones and Sylvester and stuff like that is that they don't have the visibility that he has right now. I think that's
Mhm.
why a lot are pushing for him because he's a lot more visible. A lot of the previous come out like Cakes the Killer or Mickey Blanco or Leaf or Angel Hayes, all these, all these other queer artists, they're not as on, and that's not to say that they're not great. I'm just saying they're not the mainstream as they deserved. They deserve mainstream as he is. So, that's all I gotta say.
All right. We'll talk about it.
We will. I am a lord, by the way.
We already said our names.
Did we?
Mm-hmm.
No. Well, if we did, sorry, but this
It's
is how
not an
the
if,
show
honey. We
operates.
did.
If we
It's no
did,
if,
if
honey.
girl, let me tell
I
you
just said
something. Let me tell you something. I
we're
know
not
that
even
phone is a little
talking.
crunchy. I know that phone is a little crunchy, but you just let me get my points.
You're
This is the
not
deal,
even talking, girl.
if you say so. Whatever. Anyways, girl, tell the people what we're talking about today. What's the subject matter? It's not Lil Nas X like y'all think it is. Go ahead.
Quick. It's actually the boy too, Brim. Brim. We like I
Yeah,
said,
Brahms of the way.
Bronze.
Is it Brahms? Isn't it Brahms?
Brim, bronze, Brahms.
Whatever. Y'all know who we're talking about.
That
That
boy from
movie.
England.
That the doll.
That dog from England. Oh Lord, I can't with myself. Lord, I better stop it.
Now, you guys, this is a spoiler alert. We're going to be talking about a movie. We're going to get into the plots. We're going to get into characters. We're going to get into our feelings about it, our thoughts. So, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler
And
alert.
also we gotta be mentioning some things from the first movie as well.
Hmm. So, spoiler alert for that too, even though that came out.
That movie came out. I believe it was back in 2017 or 16 because I remember I seen that movie
I
around that
remember I saw
time.
it too. It was reason I saw the first one is because my sister, she was just like, this is a movie called The Boy. And I was like, oh, okay. 2016, by the way. It came out. Wait,
Mm-hmm.
was it 2016?
It had
Yep,
to been. It was
2016.
2016 or 17. I remember I seen it in theaters. I went and saw that movie
Oh,
personally
I
because
didn't.
I love movies about
Oh,
dolls coming alive.
wait, let's talk about that first. Let's start there first. What made you decide to see the first one? What made
Oh,
you
because
want
I
to see
just
it?
said it. I said I love movies about dolls, and like I said, the way it was showing up, I was like, wait
Hmm.
a minute, I can do this.
You know?
I was like, I can do this movie. So I was like, and you know how they do the previews for it like so well, and I was like, oh, I want to see this doll move because it just didn't look like this doll will move. So that's why I really wanted to go see it, and I was happy to go. So, babe, when I tell you, when I went to the I was just the most happiest person in my life. I'm like, okay, I'm here. I was like, oh, bitch,
Wait.
you're really excited about this movie. I'm like, I should have fuck
Right?
am. Shit. And I was getting my life. Let's be clear. But the first one wasn't good, better than the second one. But it was still good. It was definitely a good intro. It didn't look like they was going to have a part two. So like I said, the plot line, how they pushed it to have more continuation for
Hmm.
the boy, the way they pushed it, I was like, okay, because that's the first thing I was doing watching this movie. The second one, I was like, how are they gonna like incorporate this? Because clearly the doll wasn't really alive. It was just this boy or whatever case may be. But I was like, okay now. So what about you? What made you want to get into it?
Like I said, kind of, me and my sister, we kind of got into scary movies because when she was younger, she couldn't watch them because they freaked her out too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I wasn't really, there for them. Then I got to a place where I was like, oh, I love scary movies. And then now she's really invested into them. So, one day we just decided to just watch it. It was like, I think it was like free on demand. It was definitely around 2019, I want to say 2018, 2019.
Oh,
It
y'all
was a
saw it
while back.
late.
Huh?
Y'all saw it late.
Yeah, it was
That's why I
really
was
random.
remember because we was friends at that time. So I remember if I distinctly that I probably brought it up to you.
You
So
probably
yeah.
did. I don't know. It if it was around that time, I remember that was the time that you used to go to movie theaters by yourself, and you was just like, I just want to go to a movie theater by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that was what you used to do. And you was like, it was for self care. It was the thing you used to do to enjoy yourself. You know,
I know I haven't been in a minute.
I don't remember you talked about it. Huh?
Well, I don't think that's how I think the point is I kind of didn't like the outcome. Like I was so excited for it, and it's just like it was still a good movie, but the hype that I was excited about. Now I wasn't listening to anyone. I was just like, oh, I was expecting something else because I was expecting the doll to move. That was my whole
Right.
point. I wanted this doll to move, and then in the movie, how they were setting up, the doll was moving, but we wouldn't see him move in a sense. So that was me being annoyed about that. So I think I didn't brought it up. So I can see that. Yeah, you probably didn't hear me do a review. I mean, well, talked about it with you.
If we might have talked about it actually, or
No, I don't know.
sometimes we
We
talk about
haven't.
certain
I
things.
know I didn't because I didn't talk to nobody about the movie. I think the only person
Oh,
is
got
us,
you.
my boyfriend, because he watched the movie. So I think him. But other than that, I didn't talk to nobody else about that movie because
Got
I
you.
was disappointed.
Okay.
So you say it was free on demand and y'all watched it.
Yeah, she just wanted to watch it. We were like looking at different movies at that time, and we would kind of just go, "Okay, you suggest a movie, I suggest a movie, and mom, y'all kind of like watch them together." While suggesting different
Mm-hmm.
movies, she suggests one and all that. So that was one of the ones that she suggested. Ooh, she suggested. There we go. I got it. I'm country, but I'm not that country. Oop. Anyways, um, we just decided to watch it, and I remember watching it and being like, "This is absolute foolishness." It was on Netflix. That's how I watched it because I remember my other friend. She talked about it, and I think I
Mm-hmm.
brought it up to you. I brought it up to you because okay. I remember now. My friend suggested it to me, or I told we were gonna watch it together, and we watched it together and talked about it. That's what I remember. That. Okay, cool, cool, cool. But yeah, I remember watching it, and it's foolishness, but I enjoyed it. It was just one of
Mm-hmm.
those like it's not a scary movie per se. Like yeah, it's essential, but it's funny. It's more of a horror comedy unintentionally.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
It's
I mean? Like
what it is. Yeah, it's one of those. I don't know. For those who grew up in a black household, when you start talking shit to the screen, that's what it
yes.
is. Girl, I know you ain't gonna let that slide.
Oh
Girl,
yeah.
girl. Mm. So it's more one of those movies that is. But it has a little pop jump out of you because I remember they kept on was saying, the woman and the lady in black that they were saying that wasn't a good movie, which I actually saw that movie by the
Oh
way. I
yeah.
seen part two
I
too.
remember that movie too. Was it bad? Was it really bad? Because my mom, I had no interest in it. They said they didn't love it.
It was very one of those ones where hold on, how about this? You remember back in the day, and what they still do it today,
Mm-hmm.
when they'll let you watch something like you watching a car drive back by and then something jumps out at the screen and scares
Uh-huh.
you.
Uh-huh.
that kind of thing. So it was a lot of that setup, and that shit was scary. I was like, I don't like that shit. When some go so it gave more of that. So a lot of people wasn't calling it scary. They were just like it was more so that. So I watched the first one and I watched the second one as well. And I definitely had to see it because for one I do like a little scary, and plus it was what's his name, Daniel Radcliffe. Radcliffe.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Daniel
Radcliffe.
Radcliffe. Radcliffe.
Yeah, he was in the movie. So I couldn't
Hmm.
wait.
Yeah, but I didn't. I had no interest in seeing it. It just something about it just was like this isn't for me.
Hmm. So let's get into the second movie. Come on. So you want to start it off?
Okay, yeah, I can. Well, you just saw it recently, so it's probably better for you to start it, so I can kind of remind myself of certain things that happened in it as you're
Hmm.
talking.
Hmm. Okay. Well, so the movie first starts off about the break-in. Let's be very clear about this. It was a
Yeah,
break-in, and
I
basically
remember that now.
with the mom and the son being at home, and the dad was away on business. So basically,
Uh-huh.
someone broke in, which oh, God, that's so terrifying. But
That is
basically,
very just oh, that is a horror that I
do not
never
no
want
one
to experience. I
experience
don't want to
that.
experience that at all. Just
Yeah,
ooh.
because a lot of people that when their houses are broken in, they usually move because it's like they don't ever feel like their house is safe ever again after that.
Never gonna feel the same.
Yeah, so I've
You're
been
never gonna feel
hearing a
the
lot of
same.
situations. I heard a lot of situations like that where people move. So it's a very scary situation. So basically, this causes the son to stop speaking, like he doesn't speak anymore, whatever the case may be.
Right.
So he stops speaking. So then he starts, of course, writing on the board. So the mom keeps on having nightmares about the situation. The son's not speaking, and basically they turn around and was like, okay, let's go to the country town. Which again, they go to where the original movie had took off from the first movie, but they're staying in the guest house, not the main house, the guest house, which is hot by the way. So basically, they eventually go for a walk, and then they find the doll, and then that's when the shit starts off.
Let's
And
talk
then the
about
doll
this.
starts
Let's
doing.
talk about them finding the doll first. Um, okay, first of all, yeah, I want to go back to the um really feel like the mom should have also sought out therapy for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Like she mentioned that, oh yeah, I want to get my son therapy, and it's like he absolutely should get therapy, but I think it was the dad who brought it up that maybe you need help as well. Wasn't it her?
Mm-hmm.
I think she should have got the
Yeah.
therapy, and it a lot because that's a lot, you know? That's a lot
Yeah.
to go through as a person. But yeah, skipping on over. They move into the house like you said, and they the son found the doll. The son found the doll because the was being nosy, and they went to see the main house to see what was
As
going
we
on.
do.
I
As we
mean,
do.
as you should.
Let me say something. If the guest house looking banging like that, just imagine the main house. You like, let me go
Mhm.
see the main house. Girl, I know. I need to go check it out. Which they did.
As they should.
And
But
that's when he found the main doll. And he had took the doll
in
home.
the, found the doll in the dirt in the
Mm-hmm.
middle of nowhere. And I think the landscaper said something to him.
Yeah, he eventually came along with his dog or whatever case may be, and then of course he said it was okay. Well, he didn't say it was okay at first, because let's be clear. So I think they already ran into him before he even found the dog. But later
Mhm.
down the line, he eventually found that he found the dog on his property.
Right.
But we're moving too far ahead.
And he kind of like
So
didn't he kind of like warn them about the doll and like say, "Oh, you don't need it. Don't get it," or something like that. Like try to warn them about the doll that it's a
Mm-mm.
danger, and they brushed him off.
No, no, they never did that. They never said anything about the doll. Something wrong with the doll. So the mom eventually cleans the doll up and everything, and
She
basically she
cleaned the
started
doll
having
on her
nightmares.
kitchen counter. How did you feel about that?
Huh?
How did you feel about that? Her putting the doll on her kitchen counter.
I guess you got to put it somewhere to clean it.
Would you put a doll that came outside from the dirt on your kitchen counter?
No.
Okay. That's all I want to know. I just want to ask that because I was like, oh, that's disgusting. That she put the doll. I know, I I just wouldn't put dirt, something that came from the dirt on my kitchen counter. That's something about
Mm.
that doesn't compute, you know.
Well, if you want to be technical with it, it wasn't theirs.
But still, y'all eat off of that. Y'all cook on that counter. So, well, the kitchen island. Actually, let me correct myself. The kitchen island was where they had it on. Even though, yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
I still cook food on it. Absolutely not. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, because I think that that was perfectly fine. But again, like I said, we did have questions of would we keep the doll or whatever the case may be. I like I say, I would not let my child keep the doll. I would have been basically trying to sell the doll because the doll looked like it was worth money. So that doll would have been on Craigslist or eBay before it killed me. So
Wig.
I'd have been
And what
taking
if the
all kind of
people are
pictures of
like,
this doll.
I bought this murdered, and I'm gonna sue them for all their worth. What happens then?
Oh, I'm gonna say, I'm what? I'm gonna say, girl, they'll be dead before they even try. Before they
Wig.
try to, they'll be gone. I'm like, well, and if they ship the dog back, I'm gonna be selling it again. Shit, me and the dog might have a which call? Which call? You better sell me. I know, girl. Don't worry. You was already in North Carolina. You heading down to Florida. Now that's where you gonna really have to fight. I'm just saying. So yeah, I would have sold the dog, but you said you wouldn't even keep the dog.
Hmm. Oh, I like things, but it just first of all, it's not really something that I would collect, and I I think I think something in my brain would be a little freaked out by the fact that it's buried and it was in good condition. Like it wasn't buried and it's like, oh, it's busted and stuff like that. So it's like it's buried because of neglect. It was just buried. So it's just like something about that would have freaked me out a little bit, you know?
Hmm.
But that's just me. That's just me being me. Yeah.
So then we come from that, and like I said, the mom eventually started having nightmares about this doll, and then of course they had looked up the benefits of having this doll around, and it can be somewhere where he can channel his emotion, and plus on top of that, he can channel his emotion, and then eventually found him again talking again. Because remind you, he'd been quiet this whole moment, and I think we moved a little bit too far ahead because he eventually went outside to go back to that trunk so he can get the rest of his clothes or whatever case may be. And then that's when the landscape guy meet up with him, and then he was like, "Oh, you found the doll?" And he was like, "Yeah, uh-huh." And he was like, "Well, you can keep it or whatever case may be." So it was then it was showing that the doll was annoyed with the dog. Yeah,
It
doll
was.
versus dog, and he
Oh
eventually,
yeah.
yeah. So he eventually they went back inside, and again, like I said, that's when it Brim. That's what I'm calling it,
The
Brim.
doll.
The
Let's call
doll.
him the doll.
The doll started to basically give rules out because he had plates at the table with food, and he was just throwing away that good old food. That makes no sense.
Wig.
Good old food. So they was at the table eating the food, and again, like I said, the dog couldn't eat, but the dog wanted. The dog started having the rules like in the original movie, the first movie, and the rules consist of no guests. I need to eat. You got to kiss me. All that, etc., etc.
That one of the tuck me into bed. You got to do this. It was a lot of rules.
Mm-hmm. And tell me a story and all that, and we already talked about this, and I'm gonna bring it up again. Let me tell you something. That dog don't pay no bills up in here. I would have brought those bills to him and be like, he ain't paying none of these bills. His name ain't on here. He ain't paying none of them.
You
He
gonna
don't
tell
get
me
all
what to
that.
do? You gonna tell me what to do in my not?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No.
Absolutely not.
And matter of fact, where they had him close to the end of the movie on that bench, that's where his ass would have been sitting. But what I did like about this movie in particular that I didn't get from the first one is the doll was moving. It was moving his head, moving his eyes, and let me just tell you, I was enjoying all of it.
Wig.
Well, I'm just saying I was. Every bit of it.
Wig.
All right, time for you to narrate.
Wig. Um, let's see. Yeah, he was moving around, doing it and all that, and getting the boy in trouble. He got the boy in trouble a lot, which was funny to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was. I think there was like bits and pieces here. Um, yeah, I enjoyed like you said, I enjoyed that the dog moved because when you watch the first movie, when you really look at advertisements and stuff for the first movie, it was kind of that the dog was going to move,
Yeah,
do certain things, and to find out it's not a actual doll that's doing the movements, it's a kid, it's a person. Wasn't it a guy, right?
yeah.
I think it was, yeah, it
It
was a
was a
guy
guy. It
that
was
was doing.
basically the boy that killed that girl and basically was hiding through the what you call.
Yes, I remember that. I remember it because it was, yeah, it was like, oh, it would have made. I preferred the idea that it was an actual dog doing things and not that it was an actual person. Not to say that it wasn't bad. It was actually fun and entertaining. It just wasn't great. Um, let's see. There's little bits and pieces that happen here and there. Um, what's a moment that really stuck out to you that the dog? Because the moment that I think about is the moment when um the boy got in trouble
Mm-hmm.
and he basically was told that he was basically told to sit at the table, and they left and they came back and the table was flipped over.
Mm-hmm.
That was a moment that really stuck out to me because I think it was a great moment because it really set everything. It set the tone for gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Well, what mine stuck out was when he turned his head, and she was when she was looking in the mirror and looking at him, and then he turned his head real quick, and she was like, bitch, wait, what the fuck? I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, now the doll is moving. So that's what I was getting the indication, and plus the doll was moving his eyes and stuff like that. All those little moments stuck out for me because it wasn't that super many of it. until the ending of the part in the movie. But oh my lord, that's everything. Definitely just enjoyed all of it. And when he
Mhm.
was on the swing and he had turned his head so he can let the witch call him go, that too.
Or that time when she had that vision and the doll was, what was it doing? Something, it did something to her, like it was going after her or something like that. Didn't she have a vision where she looked at the doll and it opened? No, what it did was it opened its mouth and a bunch of bugs came out of its mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty
Yeah,
good moment.
she was trying to check the witch call on his feet or whatever case. I guess she was looking for the point where they would tell you where the doll was made at or whatever. And it's like use this either on their hands or it's on
Right.
their feet. And she was
Yeah.
looking for it. And then basically when she had looked up after she was looking at his feet, and then he just opened his mouth or whatever case. And basically gave her a vision. He got into her mind or whatever.
Right. I still can't get over him giving her a list. And the son's like, yeah, the doll said that this is the list of what you can do. And she didn't say, first of all, well, you know why she didn't say it. Oop.
Oh, girl, wig. She's white. They don't say it like that, first of all, because that's the first thing black people say. First of all, let's get one thing clear.
You don't pay bill. Who?
How he gonna give you a damn list? How he gonna give you a list when I give out the list? So I don't know what he talking about.
You know?
Us growing up, we would have been doing none of that shit, baby. Let me say something. I'd have been ready that doll out because I don't like ass. It's
Oh,
this
and that's what he
doll.
did. That. And remember, it didn't work because the mom. No, it was you. Because the dog
I
can't do.
like.
How the dog gonna do something? The dog can't do nothing. Remember, he did go. It wasn't me. It was the dog. And the mom was like, the mom and the dad was
Mm-hmm.
like, dogs can't do nothing. What are you talking about?
Child, he was us, we would have been really, look, when we really want to snitch him. No, that it was him. I'm not lying, that dog been moving. He been talking
I
shit,
swear.
and he was
I
talking about
promise
your bad
you.
edges. See, I might add something in there. He was talking about your bad edges too. I'm just saying, and your cooking, that meatloaf was nasty. That's what he said. Okay? Y'all need to
We
get on.
and then you would have been fighting. You would have had to been fighting. Because she would have been like, what? What you said? I didn't say
He
it.
said
You said
it.
it. He gotta be like, I didn't say anything. You said it. You said it. We
I spoken on it. He did it. I wouldn't have not took no fall for no damn little white dog. You know. Not a Caucasian dog. I'm not taking no whooping for that.
at
Mm-mm.
all. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not on my watch.
They should do a black family, a real black family.
Probably. Like remember in the first season of American Horror Story when they did that Latino family?
They wasn't Latin. They was white.
They were Latino. The other family, the one that came in later.
They had came and like, oh wait. What? It's so many things that happen in American Horror Story. I mean, just hit me with it.
The second family. Remember
And what
the
happened?
first season, that family, the after the first, this is, I haven't seen the first season of American Horror. The first family, remember the white family, they died?
Mm-hmm.
And then that Latino family came in and it was like, "Ooh, I want to get this house." And started
Mm-hmm.
doing what it likes to do. You know, the maid, and the husband burnt his hand on the thing, all that. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Mm-hmm.
That. And
They didn't get out of there.
They did. They ran. Soon as the stuff started happening, they was like, "Oh, we gotta go. We can't stay here."
Wait,
They said,
let me get the hell out of here.
"There you go." And they did.
I'm like, oh, and
But
I'll go send somebody to get my shit. Go over there and get my shit, and I'll be outside. It's on the counter. Why you can't come in? Babe, it's a long story. Just get my shit, and I'm not going in the gate either. It's on that counter.
and that's what it's
So let's almost wrap it up. Okay, so then basically close to the end of the movie, whatever the case may be, they had homegirl finally figured out where the dog came from, and also the father as well when he went to the local hospital, and they was kind of telling him the situation as well. So again, she's at home because remind you they had to leave because the boy got injured. That was where the boy got injured, and the dog did that.
Yes. Oh wait, you're talking about the
So
family member, right? The family member, right?
mm-hmm. Because he
Oh
said no
yeah, that
guess.
was a
And
moment.
he brought that up too, no guess. So then I thought he was like, it's family. So then it found out that wasn't even his family. That was just friends of the family.
Oh really?
Yeah, because he was saying that, oh, that's your little boyfriend or something like that. And I don't think cousins talk like that.
No, they don't.
So yeah,
Absolutely not.
I believe that was friends. So eventually they went to the boy was at the house and the mom went to follow him and everything. And then before she was able to follow him, the landscape guy, whatever case may be, came in there and basically put her down or whatever case may be, so he can stop her. But he can explain the story of what the doll is. That is basically what I say, demonic,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they eventually went to the house. It was she eventually got busted up in the mouth with that damn gun, and then she went to the house, and basically that's when we seen all the bullshit go down.
Mm-hmm. The landscaper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
And no, I was waiting for you. Now I was about to say, yeah, you could. So the scene is now that we're at the house and he's talking to the mom,
Uh-huh.
Brim, Brian, the doll, and the son, or whatever the case may be. Which that name was a horrible name. What was his name? The what was the name of the boy name?
Oh, the son?
Yeah, what was his name? And it was so annoying. It wasn't Toby. It's not Toby. It's whatever. Maybe that was a British name. I think it's a British name because I haven't heard nobody in
Mm,
American name really that. What?
I was just saying wig.
I mean, it has to be a British name. I never really heard that name before.
I probably haven't either. I'm trying to remember it. I forgot.
It
Like
was
I said, it's been
I
a
just
while,
see
you
the name.
guys. Huh?
It was Juby, Doobie, something. I don't know. That name was so annoying. I was like, they could have gave him a better name, but I was like, maybe it's a British name now to think about. Because remind you guys, this reside in England.
Oh
So,
yeah, it was.
and Katie was the only American there. She was American, but the rest of them was British. And she eventually was telling him to put that damn doll down. The dad eventually came from behind and busted the doll upside his head. The landscape guy came in and basically the dog killed him.
Yeah. Oh, the landscaper guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he killed him, and then basically the boy picked the doll up because the doll eventually got up. Remind you to kill the landscape guy. He leaned up and then. Mm-hmm. Oh, that face was just so a mess. Oh my lord. Giving definitely old school Chucky vibes.
Wig.
And he threw the damn doll into the furnace, the sun. And then close to, most to the end, basically the doll and Doobie, the son, basically made a connection to the point that his soul transferred into, well, whatever was in the doll is now in him.
Yeah.
So clearly we'll get a part two, a part
Oh,
three.
absolutely. I would be surprised if we didn't.
Yeah, we're gonna get it. So that's
Um,
basically the movie.
yeah, we paraphrased a little bit here and there, but yeah, it was pretty much essentially the movie. But okay, overall feeling. How did you feel overall?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I definitely can watch it again. It's definitely like say rewatchable because they got some movies that's like, oh, that I need to see it once. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it. I'm good. So for this movie, definitely rewatchable. I enjoyed my time. It's definitely a movie that I can see myself putting in the background because I like to clean up and have movies playing in the background. I'm that kind of person, and I can just see myself just letting that play in the background. Actually, it might be playing in this weekend when I'm at home, so I can definitely see it.
right. I could see that. For me, I enjoyed it. I don't think it was as fun or the first one, but I think they knew what they were doing with this one, and they were kind of giving us, we like you said, we wanted the doll to move and do things. We wanted all that, and they did give us that.
Mm, they did, and it felt like they kept on changing the facial expressions of the doll throughout the movie.
They did. Because they would have it smile, like you said, and they would have it look angry. Jude, the boy's name was Jude.
Jude.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely got to be a British name. I haven't heard a person called Jude.
Jude Law, the actor.
Well, besides him. Well, when
Yeah.
the last time he been in anything that been popping? I'm just saying.
Oh,
No, he was in. He
well.
was in. Captain America. Not Captain America. Captain Marvel. I think he was in that movie. Yeah.
That was just decent. It was not terrible, but it wasn't great. You know.
Oh, you're right. We
Yeah.
already knew that movie would be that good. I was looking at that preview and I was like, I don't think this is gonna be good.
Yeah. You're talking about for the new one, right?
Oh, wait. They don't have a new preview out for Captain Marvel. Now,
No,
internals look good though. So I'm
it
already
does.
that's
It
why
looks interesting.
we
I'm
want.
excited the Marvel universe. Although I was kind of disappointed with Falcon. Not Falcon and Winter Soldier, not necessarily because it wasn't, I think it needed a little bit more punch to it in
Mm-hmm.
general. But I did enjoy WandaVision. Um, I haven't seen Shang-Chi. I'm gonna see it, but I'm like, we'll see.
I'm gonna check it out. I just need to finish the other movies. Once I finish Low Key and What If,
Oh yeah,
then
I
I can
need to
watch.
start watching What If. I need to, that's a cartoon, right?
I know if it connects, the only supposed to connect.
Not necessarily. It's more like
Is
an
it on your
alternate
account?
universe kind of situation.
Well, I don't need to watch it then. I guess I can just watch the movie now. I thought it was gonna connect in some way.
It might, I guess, but let's see. You know how the girls.
Hmm. Oh, and they also making a Spider-Man 2 movie. The Miles Morales. Oh,
Yeah, they've
yeah.
been said that they were going to do that. They just haven't started on it yet. But hurry up! Come on, Miss Mamas, I'm ready.
We needed that. That was such a good movie. But girl, come on, blacks.
you
Girl, that's not like a white
know,
person. Girl, the blacks. Like, girl, what?
you know.
I guess, whatever. Oh, Lord. So what else you want to add to the movie? We up here talking about other movies. Are we done?
Yeah, that's it. I just wanted to say I enjoyed it. If you guys get a chance, go and see it. It's actually fun. It's not bad. I don't find it terrible. Like some of the other ones that they be coming out with, some of the other
Mm-hmm.
sequels and all that. I didn't find it terrible. I think it was fun. It was enjoyable. Do not go to see this movie and think that it's going to be scary, scary. There's some jump scares here and there, but lower your expectations on it being scary. That's all I have to say.
Definitely will second that.
Yes, please.
All right, you guys. Well, we're gonna get on out here and let you go. We feel like church. We feel like church for me. You know when the church about to be over. Girl,
Uh huh.
let me get my stuff together. I had to sit through all this. Oh Lord. All right, you guys. This is Tahoe here,
That's so Lord.
and y'all was TL show.
Yes, the TL show. Bye, you
All right, you guys.
guys.
Bye. Oh Lord. Tide ho. Oh Lord. Ho tide. Lord. Oh my. Wait a minute. Oh Lord.